So today, this is a topic that I have by intuition I'm picking up. Maybe you are practicing or chanting a mantra, or you are going after a very a spiritual practice, which is either chanting or it's a very simple practice, either a meditation. Sometimes it happens that when you are so much into that meditative practice, you are so observant to it, or you feel or you can see certain visions. You feel like there is a lapse of time. You are sitting, and after 10-20 minutes, you feel like, oh my god, this is such a great time which has passed, or what happened to me. When you open your eyes, you feel like there are some tears around, or you feel it will take some time for you to come back to your own senses. If that is happening to you, then I'm telling you, you are doing something very good, very great. Please continue it, but do not share it with people. Do not try to too much contemplate, like with your logic, what happened to me when maybe I was sleeping, maybe something happened to me, it is not right. Or you can question yourself out of curiosity or excitement, but I'm telling you, even if you're questioning it, thank you, like have some gratitude, and look at that from a very emotional perspective. Maybe the mantra that you're chanting, or god that you're calling upon, he is trying to show you a sign, or he has already somehow given you a kind of a glimpse of how it would be when you are done with it, how it will be, the destination that he is trying to tell you. But it is just a hint. But it can also be something which you will be content with, and it can also be something that you will be like, okay, I have to do something more about it. That depends on your own uh, the way you approach life. But it is also a test from the divine, which is, will you stop here or you will continue? So if you go on telling people like, this happened with me, that happened with me, it will show that you wanted only those things. You wanted your pride to be there, because when you are going and sharing it with people out of happiness, out of curiosity, or whatever that is, it will show something within you which was trying to affirm. It was like affirmation that you are trying to give to yourself and other people, but it is not needed, because if you are continuing a practice, that is something which is very personal to you. The relationship between you and your divine should be very private. It is like a private affair. Everybody talks about it. So when you are in affair, like a relationship, you should not disclose the secrets of your partner to everyone, unless and until you are literally married to him. Even if you're married, there has to be a line where you can share only this much and not that much. Even if you're angry, you will say certain things which people will also understand that you're saying it out of anger and frustration, but you are not revealing the secrets of it. There has to be some secrecy that should be maintained. So approach that situation like you are married to divine, or you're about to get married, or it can be a relationship which is just in the process. So when the relationship is in the process and you are sharing too much about it, there are consequences. There will be consequences. So approach every practice that you are doing not with your logic, but with your emotion. When you approach something by your emotion, it will be next to impossible, or it will simply impossible for anything to come in between, because there will be a possibility of growing. There will be some growth, because now you know how to not to disclose certain secrets. Now it's not all about you and your fame. Some like somebody is dating a celebrity, and you will be so excited and telling it to everyone that I'm dating a celebrity. It shows that you want that person out of your own. You are boosting your ego, or you want to show yourself that I am something. Because I am something, that person is mine, or I am dating a celebrity. That shows your ego, that shows your pride. So that's why it is told to not to disclose it to everyone. And second part is, there will be some people who will put misunderstandings. There will some people who will talk stupid things about your partner, or stupid things about divine, because okay, it was you were hallucinating, it was not the reality, and this can literally go with you. So try to not to put so much out there. And those people who are highly logical and practical, please avoid such people during spiritual things, and do not share it with anyone. This is my personal experience also, because out of my fear, I said certain things to people which were very highly logical, and they claimed to be extremely knowledgeable, because they had a lot of knowledge of books and this that. And the way they passed the judgment was something which created a misunderstanding, which which was very difficult for me to channel, because I was somebody who was operating with emotions. I don't go too much with logic, but that was a lesson for me by the divine, which I am now understanding, or I have now completely understood. That if you go on questioning it in any possible way, or you are even sharing it with the people who are just not want your path, or they are not like you, they will put certain things into your mind, and that your faith will not be shaken, but there will be always a confusion behind your mind, which is maybe it is the not I am not from the path of that jnana, I am not that much knowledgeable, but what happened with me was reality. Why these people are saying these things? If it is written in the books, then why my experience is like, there will be certain things. So I am telling you with a lot more faith and a lot more. I am requesting you to do not do this stupidity, because your path or everyone is different. Their faith is different. Likewise, their experiences. Likewise, their experience of divine and spirituality. If you go on questioning and telling it to people, it's not questioning, it's like telling it to people. And there are some people who are doing something else, for maybe they don't have such interest in emotions and the form of the god. They are more interested in the formless of the divine, and they're not even carrying that path. They are simply learning about it, listening about it. So they will give a judgment by their logic. And maybe you are doing very good and you are literally into that process, and you are into that practice, and you have experience by divine's grace. Now if you go and tell it to the people that my experience, I'm telling you, I was not questioning anything. By mistake, somebody asked and I slipped, that something slipped out of my mouth, and the judgment that they passed was something I really questioned divine for that. Why they said this? They are so knowledgeable and they are so educated and they claim to be this way. How can they say this? And now, after too many of such opinions and all those things, I have understood it is a rule. We all have different experiences. We all have different things going on, and we cannot ask this question to somebody else. Why you said this to me? Not because somebody is asking for validation, but because you are sharing it, and the person who is listening to you, you must consider the matlab, how should I say? You must consider, should you actually say it or not? There is no need that you have to tell it to people. That's why I'm on the platform. That's why I'm choosing to do this. That's why I have chosen to speak about it. Because when I was into it, there was nobody to guide me. It was all a practice which was divinely guided. It was very difficult. Difficult because people have their opinions. They will put doubts into your mind. They will question everything that you are doing. But your gut feeling is telling you, your intuition is telling you, there is somebody within you who is telling you to do this and that. And if somebody else who is very knowledgeable and they are saying that, oh, it's not something that this then that, they you will respect that person because they are also on the same path. You will respect that person because you feel that they have all the knowledge, because they are reading books and they are all into it. But there is nobody more knowledgeable and more experienced than somebody who is within your heart. So listen to him. If you can feel there is an urge which is coming, there is a sense of pulling which is happening, you must listen to that. Listen to yourself. That is my whole journey. My spirituality is all about listening to yourself, your heart space, and the God that you worship. If you truly trust him and you are all about, you don't use too much of your logic, you're all about emotions, he will guide you about everything. He will be your master. He will become your master, and he will guide you in a way nobody can even imagine. Yes, they will question you. They will put doubts into your mind. They will say certain things which will disturb your mental peace. But at the end of the day, your faith will win. So my lesson is this. I have understood this one thing. Nobody is God. However knowledgeable they are, if something they are saying and that is not affirmed by your heart space, that is not affirmed by your emotions, you should not listen to that. You should not follow it. That much you must have this. That much honesty you should have. I'm just telling you very clearly. However great they are, however knowledgeable and proudy they are, and however famous somebody is, if your heart is not ready to do something, if your heart is telling you to go into different direction, wait for some time. Divine is going to show you a lot of signs. There will be a lot of scriptures, and even any scripture that you read, there will be certain hints about it. But if you are on a spiritual path, follow your own intuition, not to go after people and tell them to do this and do that. That is my whole the biggest lesson that I have in my life. Even after that whole spirituality, the biggest lesson about people in the world is, if you are having something like some experiences, or you are listening to only God and divine, and God means your heart. For me, you would not be able to tell it logically to people what is going on with you, but after some time the same divine is gonna make you understand that logic doesn't mean too much when you are so much strong in your faith. So logically, if you want to explain, he will also give you that knowledge and understanding how to tell it to people. But when you are in the process, treat it like a relationship, treat it with emotions. Don't go by your logic, don't read a lot of books, just follow what is your natural urge. If you are so much devoted towards Krishna, if you're devoted towards a feminine form of the divine, oh, that was a disturbance. So if you're a feminine, or if you're a girl and you feel like you can feel certain things very deeply, or you have a sense, so I don't know what is happening. Everybody is disturbing me. So yeah, let's not be disturbed by anything. Disturbance is something which can happen. This is a truth that I have to explain, or I have to tell it to people, because my question was only this. When I was into things, I had one question, and I wanted, by every means, I wanted this one answer from divine himself. Are you into rules and regulations? Will you not come for a simple people if they don't know the rules, the big rituals, and we cannot leave our house and go for a practice, and we can go into the caves? And even if I'm a girl and if a feminine, would you come for me? Because I don't know many rules and regulations. I don't know what to do, what not to do. Maybe. But I will read the scripture as much as possible, however much is available around me. I will try to follow it. But if my home life situation and all, we are restricted in every possible way. If a girl is doing this, she is actually into lion's den, because in every possible way people will question the, I know, and you also know what happens. So they will question you, they will tell you that this is not for you, there is no point you are practicing such things. Divine is not gonna come for you. You have to have knowledge and wisdom and meditation. I was also in this trap, because right from the childhood I used to listen to God, like people, they say that this is how God looks, this is how he behaves, this is how he talks. So I felt like, if he is so beautiful, he is so mesmerizing, why people are busy in doing something else? Why can't they simple know what is the way to reach to him, and talk to him, and see him? This should be the only important thing in anyone's life. This should be the only important topic that you should consider. Why people are busy talking and doing something else when they know that the God is very beautiful and he talks like this, he behaves like this? Why should you give importance to something else? That is the most important thing. You must know how to get him. As a child, I used to have this curiosity, but as life went in that situation, my life, in personally, I have to talk about, there will be, I think divine was testing me also, how much you can hold back that urge which was there in my childhood. And there comes a time when I was so much about this question. This question was all around me during my school times, friendships, everything was all pushing me into a direction where I feel like there is nobody that you can say that this person is my friend, or this person is somebody I can connect with. But that connection you cannot form, because everybody has their hidden agenda. Friends have their hidden intentions. Everyone has something. There is nobody loving you selflessly and caring about you. Then there is no point of wasting your time. If I really want to, I have to share my emotions with someone, why should I choose human beings? I should choose divine. And if he is actually promising everyone that I will come for those who call me, he will come. And if he doesn't come, I will have a satisfaction that there is actually nobody, even not divine, who you can consider as mine. So whatever I did, it was not coming from a lot of knowledge and lot of wisdom. Simple things or simple scriptures that we had, and only one thing that I discovered through all those readings was all scriptures are, and even divine is appreciating devotion, the path of devotion, blind love. Not a hard practice or something very severe that you have to do. Every scripture, you read any scripture related to Lord Shiva or Lord Shri Hari, every scripture is talking about devotion and devotion and devotion. How can you increase that amount of devotion? How can we have that much devotion where it will be absolute? Because we have our mind and it will fluctuate. So I was going after this one thing. How can I actually set myself so much, my mind and every activity is focused on this one aspect? Because mind is something even I was not sure about. Let's suppose even my heart is there, but not too much. There will certain things will happen because we're living in a family situations and we will get distracted. So what to do to actually focus my mind? There comes the famous scripture that we all have, where he's saying, if you simply bow down to me, I am with you. That is enough. If you can simply worship me, that is enough. But if you can't put your mind to me, then you have practices. Use those practices and then put your mind to me. There comes the japa, there comes the meditation. But what kind of meditation? When you are at home, what kind of meditation you can do? Meditations, or not even meditations, concentrations. Like concentrate your mind on a form of divine as much as possible. So every practice that I chose was not something great. I was doing it out of my knowledge about who I am as a person. I was clear about myself as a person. I can be emotionally involved with anything. You can tell me anything, and if I really want to do it, I will make it happen just by emotionally getting into it. But with my mind, I knew the mind can also be completely focused, because I had just one problem with my mind, and that was it can easily get into depression. Downfall can happen easily, but it can also rise as quickly as possible. So that bouncing will happen quickly. So this kind of a mind, if you put totally into one direction, it will be there. This is how I feel about myself. This is how I understood my nature of my mentality, or how I behave in life. Accordingly, I chose my practices, and that those practices were very simple, affirmed by. Simple means if you're chanting, your heart, mind, breath, everything should go towards that name of the form. Or you prepare your body and mind in a way where you can sit for 20 minutes actually. But that will need some practices, some yogic practices or some simple practices. So I planned my whole thing at home likewise. And trust me, I just had one question. If you are genuinely telling it to everyone and it's written in the scripture, I will come for those who call me with heart. I have only a little bit heart, which is also tamed, and it's not right. Because of your own world, these people have left me with a lot of heartbreaks, because even in a simple relationships, you can't say that this person is selflessly involved with you. They will have their hidden things going on. So I said it very clearly to him. This heart is also not very much pure because of your own people, because of this world that we are living. I did my part, but those people are not honest. That's not my problem. But that little heart which I have, I'm also giving it to you. Now it is your choice. And with simple practice of the chanting of God's name, that was only I did. And everything happened at the home. Everything means everything. It was terrifying because I heard of stories. I never heard of the reality of what happens in spiritual practice, what happens at how awakening happens, and how your illusions will be broken, and how visions will start happening in this little mind. You can see things that nobody is seeing. You can sense energies. I was not aware about such things. I was always listening about stories and God and divine. I felt cheated. How this happened with me? How is it that reality that everybody is talking about? But this reality is so hard to engulf, that God is not just about a form. He's also formless. He's not about just one face of the God. He has many faces. And all faces are him, or his faces. He is not all a man, he's also a feminine. He's not all a human being, he's also among different creatures. He's not all about a creature, he can be mixed of human and other creatures. When that comes into experience, when you experience that thing, you will feel cheated. I felt cheated. I felt like you were mine, but you belong to the whole world. So I felt cheated. I was so much into this, I felt cheated. You cheated me. I felt like you are just, because I am so much into these things, you are cheating me, you have cheated me in some way. But then after some time I realized somewhere that possessiveness was also there in me. I wanted to possess him. He was possessed, there is no doubt. But you can't take it as a stubbornness, like it was a stubbornness which was coming. Like you come only, or you can only be this way. So he showed me I cannot be only this way, I can be on any way. And you have to accept me, because if you are worshipping or if you are following the path of emotions, then that emotion should so strong that you can accept me in any possible way. That is the logic that we have to apply in our life also, which is, if you're accepting somebody, they have good part also and they have the bad part also. They're good also, they're bad also. His life also, his death also. You can't say that you come only in a beautiful form. He can be the bad form also. He can also be the most furious and the most terrifying form. So my experience was very terrifying, because I was looking at him that he's the most beautiful. But my experience told me he has all the forms. And if you are loving, and if you're really loving the God, you have to accept all the forms. That's what the reality of following the path of love. You can't tell him that come only in this form. Maybe he cheated me. He has showed me that if you're so much into this, you want me by your emotions, then broaden your mindset, broaden your heart. I will be in your heart when you are ready to accept that I have all the forms. Maybe. Because I got terrified. I felt cheated. I felt like, what is this happening? So that was a phase in my life which was very... I felt disconnected with everything. Everything is just... There is nothing good in life. Even God has different forms. Even He is also furious. Even He is not only life, He is also death. When He comes, He will take away everything which is yours. I was like a child, I was practicing everything. So it was terrifying, but I think finally I have little bit of the... I'm ready to actually say this to you also. If you are stupid, please be stupid. If you are emotional, please be emotional. If you have a different understanding of God, that He is only beautiful, He is also this, He is also that, be that way. Yes, your illusion will be broken at some point of time, but then He will restore it in a very good form. He will prepare you to accept His reality. He will prepare you to face the truth. If you're not ready to face the truth, if you're scared of it, He will take away that fear also. If He is your God and you are like a child, I have nobody to guide me, and you have to come. Even if you're a stubborn, stupid like me, He will correct you. He will tell you that when you are ready, I will be completely in your heart. But you have to broaden that. It's not all about a little heart. Even if the heart is little, don't be rigid about it. I was even fighting with the God also. I was fighting with Him also. Why you cheated me? Why you came in all the forms? I was telling you, just give me a little bit. I was telling you to just show me a hint that yes, you still come, so that I can have this faith for the rest of my life, that yes, I can live for divine. Because when you are emotionally insecure because of things happening around you, and because of intelligent people around you who can use relationships, friendships, even at family situations, and tell you that you are too sensitive, you feel like I'm having some problems. But he has actually affirmed this to me. Even if you are living at a home, you don't know any practice and you are stupid, then I can come for you. But one thing that you have to promise, and that is this has to go on. You just can't run away in between. You can't say that no, I can't, I don't want to see it any longer, I don't want to see you like this, only come in this form. That much you have the courage, and it will come naturally to you when you are simply clinging to this one thought, an idea that He is God, He will not harm me. It will also happen. And even if you are not so much into that idea, you cannot continue with that, He will make you do that. This is what God means. He will not leave you. Once he has promised you something, or you are on that path, he will not leave you. He will not allow you to deviate from that path. He will correct you also, by force, by hook, or by crook. That is what God means. My question was answered, and it's still in the process. If I get all my answers, I will tell it to you. But if you are also the same, you are practicing the same path as mine, or you are interested in this question, if I have no knowledge, will it be happening for me? Yes, it will happen. If you are living at home, you don't know how to show off your devotion, you don't know how to apply that or show it to people. Like, the showing up is not happening to you. You can't show it to the world that how much you are into this. You belong to my group, because I also don't believe so much into showing up. Maybe somehow, some days I will learn, but right now I don't know how to show off, or how to show it to the world. I feel ashamed of myself, because this is not my path. I just can't, I don't want people to see it. But maybe it's something, I am doing something wrong. I will learn it. I don't think I should be, but let's see. Because my focus was all about the internal journey. It was never the external journey, how people are looking at you. You can question, like, you don't look like that you are into a spiritual practice, or your age is not telling us that you have done something. I understand that. I am ready for that also. But because we are simple people, we are living in a simple situation, doesn't mean that God is away from us, and it is impossible. It is possible. When you are ready, He's also there. And you should be ready for your mistakes also. You should not be like, I have done everything great in life. Be honest, be natural, be honest, be authentic, be real. Be stupid, be emotionally fool. He is happy with fools, not with the... He is easily accessible to the sinners, then He is accessible to those who claim to be the saints. That is my experience till now. And yes, he is not bounded in mantra and chanting and how many beats you're counting. It took 8 months for me, and before that it took 2-3 years to prepare myself, to understand that my body is not ready, maybe because there is some ego happening with your body also, that you cannot sit for 10 and 20 minutes. So I had to prepare myself by practices or simple exercises, and I had a book written for that. You can go and read it. But it was my experience. I'm not claiming to be somebody who has achieved something. I haven't achieved something. It happened to me because I was questioning a question, and I was very honest about it. That much I can share, and I wanted to share, because if you have a question, then be honest with yourself, and be honest with your mistakes also, and be honest with that also, because even if I fall, you will be there. And if you're not there to pick me, then let me be in that pit. So have this much. I already told him, I don't know anything. You come and pick me. Even if I fail, it will be your failure, because you have said, you have promised me, or you have promised. Everybody says that you have a promise. You will come to people who are calling them, like whoever is calling you. So one thing I kept in my mind, which is, if I'm calling, I'm literally calling. My mind is also calling, my heart is also calling, my emotions are also calling, my breath is also calling. I was honest with this one thing. If I'm chanting and my mind is going somewhere else, then immediately I understood this is something I'm doing, a cheating. Love is not a cheating. When you are loving somebody, you should not cheat. You should be honest. So that much honesty you should have. When I am saying that I have emotions for you, even a little bit, I will be polishing this little bit emotion so much that I have this confidence. I have said this and I mean it. That much you must have. I'm not going to cheat you. I'm not going to be disloyal with you. Even if you're not coming, I will wait. I will listen to everybody's sarcastic tones. That is fine. But I will not go back with my words. If I mistake something, you will correct me. I am happy to be corrected. But I'm not going to leave you. Even if I have tried to leave you because of my fear, I still have this one clinging, which is you will correct me. That is what relationship means, na? So that's how you should go on if you are looking at God with emotions. I don't have logics. I have only my little bit emotions, and whatever is my understanding, I can only share, because I wanted to know as a teenager, as a youngster, because this whole generation which we are in, I felt like nobody belongs to you. especially friendships. I'm telling you, there are many snakes in the name of friendship. So I was so much frustrated with these kind of relationships and the kind of programmings we all have. And even about, I wanted something like if even if you're in a school life, there has to be 2 3 friends that you are connected with. But even that, they are different. So that triggered me a lot. Literally, I'm telling you. And then whatever trend is going on, I never belonged to that trend. I always wanted, even the education system should be little bit spiritual, but it was not there. So it gave me a lot of anxiety and frustration. That's why it was there in my childhood, but how I'm going to do it so much seriously, I never knew that. But one thing I can tell you, when the real urge comes, it will not be coming from trends, following a spiritual master, or it will come like a inspiration, or it is some masters will come in some ways in your life to remind you of that urge or polish you. I still remember the spiritual masters that I connected with, but that was something, they affirmed something that was within me. I was feeling that I should go towards this one form, but I was hesitant because will he listen to me? I'm not that great devotee. Everybody will laugh at me, or what will happen? Will he come or not? Yes, but there were some masters which, when they were talking about devotion, that gave me a lot of this, that okay, let's have the courage. So what is the significance of spiritual masters? He is God himself, they are the God themselves. But for us, we all have our own journey to be courageous enough to follow it. That courage comes by looking at people or listening to somebody who has gone through the same path and who can share and share their own experiences. That gives us the real courage. So I even wanted somebody should tell about it. A feminine should speak about it. Anybody should speak that this path is actually gonna be beneficial in some ways, because I'm so scared, because I was so tired of everything. I felt like meditation is not my path. I don't want knowledge. Yoga, I don't want to do too much. It's all about my health. But one thing that I was looking for, which was my question, and I wanted my answers right from divine. So I was all about the form of the God. I was never interested in knowledge. So I got emotional about it, that this is how I am, this is who I am. I cannot follow something very severe practices. I'm like that only. Finally, I spoke all the truth. Now I don't know what to do, what not to do. But yes, if you can resonate with it, I can tell you, as a youngster, as a teenager, I had all the things around me which were beneficial, or which could have. When I look back and I see, everything was arranged for me. I had a library kind of a space prepared by my father. It has all the books, all the Puranas, and I can read whichever Purana I want. And as I start reading, I felt like every chapter, like all of a sudden, I feel like I should read this.